Incoming transmission from the future, Vancouver AI Community Meetup.
Okay, guys, now we're hackathon, right? So out of this community emerged an idea to tell better stories around data. Andrew Reed came to me, he runs Rival Tech, and he was like, we do this amazing work for these biggest brands in the world. They spend huge amounts of money asking tens of thousands of people questions about all sorts of stuff, and then we get all this rich data back, and the whole industry puts it into PowerPoint presentations and bar charts and graphs, and like, it's the AI age, we must be able to do something more. So that was the seed of our idea. I want to welcome Dale and Julia from Rival Tech up here right now to talk a little bit about the hackathon. These guys are a couple of the judges. Brittany, are you in the room? Brittany was one of the judges as well. She'll be up here at various points. We're going to show you guys some of the best projects. We're going to give $2,500 to the winner of the first round. I'm so excited. This is so cool.
Oh, sure. So this was all kind of the brainchild of our CEO, Andrew Reed. He started this company 8-9 years ago now, with kind of the idea of moving market research into the future, bringing it onto people's phones, helping brands connect with their customers in a new way. And as Chris mentioned, a lot of the way that data is presented is pretty dull. It's not, super engaging. We've really tried to push that forward with our platform and with our products. But I think this is the next wave of that. So really, we got some really cool submissions to this hackathon, and this is just the first of 4 of them. So hopefully more people in this room will get inspired by what you see today, and we'll be, giving away 3 more of these prizes. So thanks. Dale, you want to say anything?
I'll just encourage everybody, if you can, take a look at the submissions. We had 12 submissions. 5 of them really, really stood out. And I was sort of blown away by the kind of care and attention that went into the ideation process and the conceptualization of those thoughts into a deliverable. I think we're going to show a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, we're going to, after you guys are done talking, we're going to show the reels, and then Swathi's going to give a demo, and then we're going to announce the winner and do some prizes.
Yeah. So it's just a real privilege, guys, to be able to bring business into this context a little bit. We need this in the business community. We need exposure to this kind of creative energy, and also cross-pollination with academia. It's just a really powerful connection opportunity. So it's a real privilege to be a part of this, and thank you for allowing us to talk to you and participate. So I'm going to hand this back over to you.
Hand it to Brittany. Brittany, what was the question data set? How many people asked for the data? We got 12 submissions in. Just give us a little one-on-one on that.
Okay. So we had about 60 registrants, and I think some of y'all dropped the ball. But that's okay. There are 3 more rounds, and whether you participated in this one or not, you are welcome to participate in subsequent ones. Whether you win this one or not, you are welcome to participate in subsequent ones. The topic of this round's questions and data set begun around, is a hot dog a sandwich? The age-old debate. My other favorite question was, is a bowl of cereal with milk soup? So I think a lot more people downloaded the data set than actually submitted. I think some people got stage fright. Don't be scared. It's free to enter, and you can lose in the sense that you don't win, but you can't lose really. What else did you want me to say here?
I'll just say one more thing. Brittany.
Okay, great. I'm gonna don my hot dog hat in the meantime.
Brittany's a really tough teacher. I was hoping for 5 submissions this first round. I wasn't sure. We just launched this thing out of nothing. There's no one ever seen any examples before. So I'm stoked. 12 freaking real projects got past invite, you guys. And I know there was a bunch more in the works. So I guess maybe without further ado, let's roll a couple of the clips of a few of the, let's call them the winner's circle. And then we're going to show you our favorite project that didn't win and then the big winner. So let's rock and roll on the reel.
Hello, I'm Dr. Virex, cultural historian, edible semiotician, and archivist of the analog appetite. My field of study, gastronomic anthropology, specializing in the early post-globalization period, circa 2025 Common Era. From the year 2225, I examine food not as sustenance, but a story. In our era, we no longer eat, we simulate, synthesize, and stream flavor directly to the limbic loop. But in 2025, food was identity, taste was tribal, naming a dish was sacred. In the early years of the post-globalization period, humans weren't just eating. They were performing, negotiating identity with every bite. But the questions they asked were deceptively simple. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is cereal a soup? If two slices of pizza are pressed together, have you created something new? No. These weren't taxonomic puzzles. They were confessions. Cultural coordinates wrapped in mustard and ritual. In our findings, we found most analog eaters did not think a hot dog is a sandwich. Even when the bun rips and becomes two pieces. Still no. Why? Because structure wasn't enough. The hot dog was a flag, eaten at sports arenas and backyard barbecues. It didn't matter how it was built. What mattered was what it meant. And then there was curry. Most rejected categorization entirely. It was its own thing, its own genre of food. Curry wasn't a liquid classification. It was a culinary philosophy, a memory system passed through steam. Even something as seemingly trivial as cereal caused division. Cold soup or sacred ritual. They weren't answering about milk and grain. They were answering about intention. And intention mattered. People wanted to believe that food was not just what you see, but what the creator meant it to be. Does mixing those two triangle slices of chaos and comfort that they used to call pizza make it a sandwich? Transformation without meaning is just mutation. In 2225, we no longer eat, we synthesize. But in 2025, they ate with history in their mouths. The data reveals not confusion, but conviction. Humans weren't failing to classify food, they were fighting to protect it. So when someone asks, "Is this a sandwich?" ask instead, "Whose story am I swallowing?"
Welcome to Vancouver, AI Foodie Debates Hackathon, sponsored by Rival Tech. In the first round, we will be debating whether hot dogs are sandwiches or not. 29% say yes, but that number climbs to 44% if the bun is torn into two pieces. As we can see, the question of food categorization is murky. What if we are dealing with a taco? 64% argue that a taco is never a sandwich, but 26% are willing to give the designation to a soft taco and 6% to a hard-shell taco. Pizza is a tricky one, but 80% say it is still a pizza, even if assembled like a sandwich. Does a sandwich need ingredients to qualify as a sandwich? The majority of respondents agree that at least 2 ingredients on top of bread are required to qualify as a sandwich. Now, we all agree open-faced sandwiches are sandwiches, but do we want them? The audience is quite neutral with a slight preference for closed sandwiches. Now let's get into a bit of a slurpy topic. Is a curry a type of soup, or does it qualify as its own type of food? 63% are willing to call a curry a type of soup. What is important to us when deciding if something is a soup? Consistency is key, which begs the question, is milk with cereal a soup? 90% disagree. And to what degree does the intent of the chef matter when classifying foods as soups or sandwiches? The audience is split. Thanks for watching.
What is a sandwich? Is it bread? Is it filling? Is it intention? If you replace the meat, then the cheese, then the bread, is it still the same sandwich? This is the sandwich of Theseus. A hot dog, a taco, a crusty slice folded just so. A label, a law, a lunch. Is a taco a sandwich? What happens when the bottom falls out? When the bun splits and you are left holding two truths in separate hands? If the bun rips in half, is it now a sandwich? They say the chef's intent matters, that a sandwich is born in the mind, not the mouth. But minds are sloppy. They spill. And what of the open-faced ones? Not wrapped, not held, just exposed. You ordered certainty. You received vulnerability. You wanted structure. But I'm open-faced. I am not symmetrical. I'm not easy to hold. But I'm real. So what is a sandwich? A boundary, a belief, or just a dream with crust? I'm not whole, but I am enough.
That's amazing. Maybe this is the time for everyone who submitted a project to just come on up here for one quick sec and let everyone see who you are. If you submitted anything at all whatsoever to this data storytelling hackathon, would you just come up and like, Brian Hawkenstein? Yeah, there you go. Come on, guys. What's up, Michelle? Where's Liliana? Swathi, you can stay here. You're up next. Come right up in here. Feel the light on your face, guys. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah. We didn't expect to get a bunch of videos back that, but like that was like a pretty low-hanging fruit. Right here, Seth. Right here, school. Thanks a lot for participating, guys. Hey, Ubdav, what's up, man? Thank you so much. Pretty cool that you came out, showed up. Neti, hey, what's going on? Nice to see you. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Pretty awesome. I'll give you guys probably a chance to talk later, but I just wanted you to let everyone see your faces. Please come do the next one. So we started with absurd just to get the juices flowing, but we've got one, and I can't let the cat out of the bag. We're gonna tell you just like in half an hour what the next question set is, but we've been working on the question set. The data's going out. Brittany will fill you in. You guys can go. Thank you so much for participating in this thing. Swathi. This was my favorite project that didn't win, appeared on the top of a lot of judges' lists. So cool. I downloaded her GitHub code that night that I got the project in and tried to get the pipeline running for myself. Do you need like a stand or for me to hold your thing or anything? Or what you want? You let me know. I'll be your stand. No, okay. Wait, I just want to say, I downloaded her code, I ran it, it's awesome. We've got to collaborate on some other pipelines related to this stuff. Pretty super cool. Like I said, we're gonna be running 4 of these. We've got the next question set worked out. We've got a couple in the pipeline. It's gonna get pretty good. Yeah, no problem. Anyone got any questions about the data hackathon you want to shout out while we're getting the AV going? All right. Okay, hit it.
All right. I'm super nervous. I've never really spoken in front of so many audience. So if I fumble, please ignore that. So hi, I'm Swathi. I
just might have to hold your mic at some point so you can use your hands maybe.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So maybe I'll just keep this down. That's easier, I guess. So hi, I'm Swathi, and for this hackathon, I decided I did not want to do a static report. I did not want to do just like a dashboard or just visualization. We have awesome participants who have submitted some cool stuff. So I'm like, okay, even I want to do something really creative. So is it going to be ridiculous if I use this entire survey responses and make a comic out of it? What if we live in a world where a hot dog is facing a trial because it's summoned because it does not belong to a specific category, right? So I'm like, okay, this sounds maybe ridiculous, but super funny. I'm totally going to go for it. But thank you. So, okay, sorry. So I used the data analysis. So this is me diving into the data, doing all the boring stuff. Fun for me, but for many it might be boring. So I'm like trying to understand what can I tell from, like what can I use for my storyline, right? Like, because I wanted all the character description. I wanted also like what the arguments of the trial and the courtroom drama is going to be from the data and the insights itself. So I'm like, okay, fine. But while majority people do not want to believe that hot dog is a sandwich, I'm like, oh, that sucks. I want the hot dog to be the hero of this character, right? Like, so I want the hot dog to win. So I, as a data scientist / lawyer working for this hot dog, I have to so I had to figure out, so this is our hot dog, right? Poor guy, he's summoned, and this doesn't look like me, but maybe the AI version of it. So she is going to fight this case. Now, lawyer's job is not to tell the exact representation of the story, but to persuade the story in the way they want to tell a story, and which is what all data is, right? If it's my story, it's going to be my narrative of that story. So that's what I did. I figured out from the insights, like, what can I use to compel the judge to think that it should be a sandwich, right? And all these people need to believe it. So that's what now I did not just want to show it actually I was trying to do a video out of it. It was really tricky because I was trying to do all open source models and I did not want to burn all the cache in my, so I thought, like, you know what, let's stick to the basics. And I built a pipeline where like after all the data insights are derived, there is a CSV which is with like my entire storyline, and it has a list of prompts, my character description. You can change it to your liking. I put this CSV, this is the cool stuff. Like, my favorite part of the project was the automated pipeline, which is what Chris liked as well, I guess. So I feed it and you just hit play button, and what you get output is, okay. Sorry, it's good. So you can give whatever you want in your CSV, and as an output, you get a comic novel. And people can read through it. There's a lot going on in the story. So now you can do, like, I made a lot of versions. There is my favorite version. If you are interested, the entire code is on my GitHub. It is free to use, clone it, feel inspired, make your own story. Maybe you want to show, like, you have a story that you want to show to your kids, but they only like images. So you can just spit it out in a CSV and you will have a cool output of it. Okay, thank you.
Don't run away, don't run away. That's amazing, it's really amazing. So a pipeline is a series of steps that takes some data, moves it through a process, and you built one of those. First of all, she used all open source tools. So she's not using GPT or any of the online services. The only online thing you did was you rented a GPU in the cloud to do the processing because you didn't have a GPU locally. Right. So you're running local models or on Hugging Face or in that collab notebook you made. All open source models. She can put in a text file, runs the system, and then all those images are things that are being generated, sort of locally, but on a GPU on the cloud. It would be locally if you had one or whatever, but it's really an amazing pipeline, and it's the seed of something great. If you kind of can see what I see, you'll get it. There's some genius in there. I'm so excited to collaborate with you on it more. It inspired me. I made one too based on her work, and we're gonna get together maybe this weekend, I hope, and try to put them together or something like that. So congratulations, you were amazing, and I really. Hey, Dale and Julia and Brittany, will you guys come up here with me for a second? I'm really excited about this moment. I think it's just so cool that we've created a platform that brings in folks like Rival, that we've run our first hackathon, and that we get to give $2,500 to someone in the community. You look great.
Thanks. I feel great.
Swathi's project was awesome. A lot of those things we saw were really eye-opening, but there was one project that stood way out above the other ones, just in the way that it interacted with the whole thing. This guy built a platform, he built various experiments, he visualized things in different ways, he wrapped it all on a website, and the way he delivered it to us was like he was delivering a consulting software architecture project to a client. It was like impeccably documented, quite good work. Anything you guys want to say about this here?
I'll just say a big thank you for the effort. When it's not lost on us how much time it takes to pull this together. And so the effort is incredible. And it really does speak to this idea of community of practice, which I think is really critical and awesome. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say was it actually made the judging super easy. Brittany built the rubric. We used the rubric to score all the things. But then when we got together for the meeting, we were like, we put our top 3 on there. And there was one that was on the first place of all of the lists, plus Andrew's. The 5 judges all had this one on top. So it was easy. And we adjourned 7 minutes after we started and was like, yeah. So Sev Garaskin, come on up, buddy.
I feel that this is potentially too big a moment for the hot dog hat. I'll just take this off for a second. It'll come back, I promise.
There you go, Sam. Congratulations, dude. We're going to invite you to say a few words after your thing runs, but I just wanted to take a moment and get a photo from Michelle Diamond with you with your big ass. This is a dream of mine, to give away a big ass check to a community member. Congratulations, brother. Yeah, slide right on in there. Sev's a big contributor to our community in lots of ways. Go find a place to stash your check. We can watch your video. I'll meet you back here in 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Cool. He's a big contributor to our community in lots of ways. He was one of the... He's the guy that before we had the core membership, he'd buy his ticket on the way home every month, which was just such a pat on my back that we have been doing good things. It's like he'd buy his ticket on his way home from this event every month. All right. Without further ado.
Hot dog, a sandwich. Let's find out. Understand why the question matters. Set the stage for the ultimate face-off. Play around with our advanced 3D model to understand the structural perspective on this question. Watch it transform into a sandwich. Then watch it transform back into a hot dog. Back into a sandwich, back into the hot dog. The structural examination enabled us to form the transformational theory and ask deep philosophical questions. We further obtained both cultural perspective and historical perspective. Then we took a combination of cultural and qualitative analysis, and we found that according to this criteria, hot dog is a controversial food. We don't know yet if hot dog is a sandwich. So we dove deep into the data. We even came up with our own controversy score based on 4 different categories, which determined that hot dog was the most controversial food. We then went and classified the survey respondents into different categories, such as sandwich traditionalist and sandwich expansionist. This pop-up right here enables you a further deep dive into the data, broken down by different properties like gender and region. See the linguistic patterns, understand the controversy metrics, and get the classification perspectives. Finally, after reviewing the key arguments of whether hot dog is a sandwich or not, we came to the verdict that hot dog is not a sandwich, based on qualitative analysis, cultural perspective, and data. However, it remains a highly controversial food. Our methodology was to spin up 3 agents on our orchestrator platform, 1 for quantitative analysis, 1 for natural language understanding, and 1 for data visualization to create this interactive website. And finally, I'd invite you to explore our classification chatbot, which enables you to classify your pictures into hot dog and sandwich, and watch this video for a surprise.
can queue up that rap video at the end, but it's definitely worth a watch. I did make a microsite with all the submissions in it and all the videos, which I'll share on the group chat later tonight. Congratulations, bro. It's so cool to see Orchestrator in action. I know you've been talking about it so much. I can't believe you got it to do all that shit. You're crazy.
Yeah, thank you. It just shows what I find the models are really good at is understanding, natural language understanding of data sets. So if you're doing any qualitative analysis of the data, you can run it through the language model, you can get some qualitative insights and combine the two and get something like this. Like I didn't come up with this insights, it's the Orchestrator platform did. So just a few agents together. But besides that, I want to talk more about sort of the kind of talent we have here. And as I'm working on this exercise and I'm meeting more and more people, I'm impressed with just the quality of builders that we have in the city. So the other day, I met Ovi a while back, and Ovi is actually, I'm going to talk about Ovi. I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk about Ovi because he impressed me. And Ovi is like one of the global experts on converting sort of human movement and data into sound. So he has his Salonic app. He showed me he has his mobile app, and what it does is like you're able to take this app, move it around, and then converts it to the sound. So you can really create music based on all the data that you collect, your movements, your location, and so on, and it does it in real time. And Ovi and I, we kind of went out for beers, and I didn't know Ovi was such a drinker, but he made me drink like 4 beers, and I don't know the last time I had 4 beers. We got pretty drunk. And what I'm building with Orchestrator is essentially a control system for artificial general intelligence. And what Ovi has is a control system for music. So we're like, okay, let's figure out how to put all this together and let's invent something, right? So then we started talking about, well, how does a conductor orchestrates a music with the orchestra, right? He has that baton and he goes like, right? So it plays around. So we're like, okay, well, we can spin up a bunch of agents and start like kind of orchestrating to put orchestra level music into his Salonic app, right? And after a while, we had a few more beers, and then we thought, well, what is the perfect control system for AGI, for artificial general intelligence? And we're thinking, well, is it a baton or is it a magic wand? So what we did is we invented the magic wand, and I think we have a real possibility seeing the magic wand come to life within our lifetime. So we can just go, abracadabra.
Sev is such a sweet man, and that's such the spirit of the community that he comes up to give his, I win the game speech, and he talks about Ove. Ove, I loved your and Liliana's project too. It's really good, and I'm glad you guys are connecting, I know you had someone bail off your team at the end, didn't exactly get it to where you wanted to go, so I'm glad that it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, thanks, Sev. We're going to finish this night out, so I'm going to invite you to take a seat, but I want to get my picture taken with you in the big check later again, bro. Like I said, we're going to have one more minute at the end. We're going to tell you about the next data set. I encourage you guys to get involved. It's going to be super cool. So we've been going through, in Canada here, a time of defining who we are. National identity crisis, if you will. From being asked to become a 51st state, going through an election, all this other kind of stuff. And so we've decided to use the next round of the data storytelling hackathon to provide a little bit of data about this whole identity crisis that we're going through. What does it mean to be Canadian? Who are we now? Who do we want to become? So I just want to invite Brittany back to talk a little bit about the question set and the dates, the key dates when people are going to be getting things. And I think you have a couple prizes to give out as well.
I do. Okay, so I don't do it yet, but Dale and Julie are going to come back on stage. But first, the next hackathon, we're all very excited. Just to wrap this one up, though, I don't think Darby is in this room, who was the Dr. Virex, the very first of the videos that we saw. Darby's not in this room, confirmed. Great. Okay, in that case, I have... Look, next month or 2 months from now, you'll see me in a horrifying foam Canada flag. But For now, I got a bunch of kitschy little prizes that were themed with this hackathon round's theme. And so for the first two, which are Kellogg's flavored lip balms, is a bowl of cereal, a soup. Could I get Steve Jones and Brian Hockenstein up here, please?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And there you are. Enjoy. Swathi, with the beautiful bowl of cereal candle. There are actual Fruity Pebbles. Is that a cereal? The Flintstones one. That's the one. And there you are. And of course, Sev. Is a hot dog a sandwich if it's a candle? Sev, please come collect your hot dog candle. And with that, Julia and Dale, please come up here too. Yep. Okay, so the next round, the hat comes off. The next round are Canada-themed questions. What does it mean to be a Canadian? Do you want to? We all know that Trump threatened, offered to make us the 51st state. And so Julia has done the hard work of coming up with the set of questions. I would ask you to speak to them just a little bit for like 30 seconds.
Okay, so yeah, just so you all understand where this data is coming from, I think maybe we should have mentioned that before as well. So you may have heard of Angus Reid. He has a panel of thousands of Canadians. You probably see in the news all the time, an Angus Reid poll said 45% of Canadians feel this way. So he's a, pollster and a researcher going way back. So the data is actually coming from that panel. So for this one, we're going to be talking to 1,000 Canadians. It'll be balanced, across the country. This set of questions that actually all three of us have been kind of going back and forth on this week, as you mentioned, are all about Canadian identity. What does it mean to be a Canadian? What are the words that come to mind? What are your fears for the future? What are your hopes for the future? So very curious to see, kind of what the responses are. And if you sign up, you get access to all of that data, which will be available by the end of next week. And I don't know the dates, but
right.
Yeah.
Key dates before Chris rips this mic out of my hand. The due date is the middle Wednesday of June, 2 weeks before the meetup, which means we will be announcing the winner of the Canadian-themed hackathon right before Canada Day. How fun!
Go to hackathon.bc-ai.net if you want to be a part of the next one. Brittany's onboarding everybody, getting them into the program. Just send a message, say you want the data when it comes out, even to just have a look, participate, throw your name in the hat. It's going to be a lot of fun.